yes, previous day's close, that dash line right up there. It touched it. Touched that previous day's close right there. And now this was overnight high. So it went over the overnight high, touched the previous day's close, lower high, consolidation, and now it looks like it might want to reverse. Today is a meeting with Trump and the meeting over there in Pakistan, and there's just a lot of question about what's going to happen. So it could pop up and keep going. It could, but it also could be real choppy. It could go straight down depending on what's happening. We got the day chart here showing us inside bar day. So we have to be careful here. It's not my favorite double star trading day, but if we could get all the time charts to agree on a direction, I'd be willing to go long. But today is a particularly trepidatious day with the meeting of Donald Trump and everything going on with those guys over there. 60 minutes up. See that big pintail coming back down? It went up to the close of previous day. It went up over the overnight high and now it's putting in a big juicy pintail. Pintail's down here, pintail's up here. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't just come back down into, let's draw a trend line right here. You know, just test this trend line, maybe even break it, come down to these pivot levels here would be an interesting area for it to just, today's a good day for the algorithms to just head fake. Any type of news can swing it real difficult. So it's not over the previous day's level. It's not consolidating and pushing, which would be my long setup. And here's the low of previous day down here. Can't really short it. So it looks more rangy. Inside bar day, rangy day. Potential longs up here. Shorts down here underneath. It's in the middle. So it's basically just a matter of range skills. If you got good range trading skills, I don't think the trend is intact today yet. It could, as soon as news comes out or something, this thing could pop. It could change directions. We don't know what it's going to do. It's just not my favorite type of trading situation. It's not really. Not much of a range trader. So right now, I would be waiting to see what the news is going to do. See, right now it's even starting to really go sideways here. And, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So that's it for the live stream, because I'm not going to take a trade. I'm going to come on the live streams to do analysis and trade setup ideas and what's potential. But sitting on here waiting for a trade right now is not what I'm going to do, because I don't know what's going to happen. It's too sideways for me. And I don't do a lot of range trading. If I was going to range trade today, and if the news doesn't come out and we see a big drop down here though, if it sweeps these levels and starts to go back up, that'd be a great buying opportunity down here at this level down here. And with a stop underneath overnight low. Now, it could just put in an overnight low candle. It could go all the way back down. Wouldn't it be wild to see it go all the way back down? All the way back down. It already bounced off of that 2 days ago high. So it looks like it wants to stay up in this range, which is an interesting thing to see. Here's the 4-hour chart. Here's the high of that day. Bounced off of it. Now it's in this range. I can see it staying in this range right now. I can see people buying the dips in this area and range trading it back up into either the middle or up to the high again. I don't know when the news is going to come out, or if it's going to come out today, or what kind of news it's going to be. But I can see the range trade. It's just not something that I want to do. The hourly chart, you can see it does not want to go up right now. And there is a political event taking place today. 15-minute chart. I was looking at what my possibilities were here when I was looking at how much would I lose if my stop loss was underneath these pivots. Where was the price at the time? I was just figuring it out. Was there enough room for me to make a 1-to-1? And we would have to go over the all-time highs before that political meeting, and I don't think it's going to do that before the political meeting takes place. We don't know what's going to happen with that news, so that's very risky to just assume that, yeah, we're going to hit the all-time highs and keep going. We don't know what's going on with that. We have to wait for that to happen. And in the meantime, there's some juicy stop losses down here waiting to be taken out. So I can definitely see the algorithms trying to push it back down that far. Doesn't mean it's going to. But do I think it's going to go down past the low down here, past the low of previous day, engulf the entire day? Do I think it's going to drop down and go way down here and take that out? It would have to be some really bad news or something political, geopolitical, or some news, headline news event for that to happen. It's possible. But the greater probability, at least for now, is it stays in this range and it keeps chopping around and waiting. So that's it for today. I'm not taking a trade in this. Be back if something happens, if something good happens, bad happens, whatever. If it starts to take off, we start to see momentum, I can come back on live stream here and, we could talk about what's going to happen, what trade setup could we get. But inside bar days, for my style of trading, as you can see right here, right now, it just went up over the top of that little consolidation area just before coming smashing back down. So if I was going to take a trade, it would be based on the 5-minute chart or the 15-minute chart and some of these lower time charts. See the 5,000 tick chart and it's got conflicting information. Let me see, 500 tick chart. Everything's going down, so for some quick scalps, it looks like shorting would be okay, down to probably those pivot levels we were talking about. Probably wants to go down to this area down here. Let's go ahead and draw this a little bit better. Right in this area right here is where the pintails and the bouncing is taking place. So I would not be surprised if it doesn't want to come down to that area. So perhaps a trend line break. I mean, I could do a simulator trade here. I'm not going to take my real PA Apex accounts that I'm trying to get a payout from and trade them right now. Let's look at the Fibonacci trade though, right here. Didn't quite come up all the way to the fib level. And a trend line break to the downside here would look interesting. The reason why is because all the moving averages, including the higher time chart moving averages, are pointing down. So there is a potential for a scalp to the downside. Now it's up into that zone, and right here, anything red,
order filled,
we could try to short it. So it went up into the 50-60% zone. See if it comes back down the bottom here. That's the only trade I can see right now. And I'm not doing my real PA accounts. I'm just really just experimenting, because if you look at if you look at the 15-minute chart, all it's doing is bouncing off of, there's a trend line down there, there's some moving averages down there. It's got some pretty good, that would serve as some support in many people's minds, where it's bouncing back down into consolidation right here.
Stop filled.
And it didn't work. You heard it stop filled. So I'm glad I didn't use the real money account on it, because I'm just not going to trade anything that I don't. Yeah, that was the simulator. Good. It depends on how much was I asking for too, though, because I might have been able to get a 1-to-1 on it. Yeah, it hit 1-to-1. It hit 1-to-1. It could have stop loss, could have broke even on it when it come back up. I'm just not serious about this trade, but I can see a scalping a 1-to-1 on that. Now, if there's news coming out, we're going to want to be aware of that.
I don't know, simps to one degree or another. When I say that, I'm like, okay, the 5-minute is generically up. The 10-minute is generically up. The 30-minute generically up. 4-hour generically up. Looking at the S&P 500 from the 5-minute to the 4-hour, it is up. I also know the daily's up. Looking at the NASDAQ, the 5-minute was up, pulled back, saved itself. So still up. Same with the 10-minute. Pushed up, it was bullish, pulled back, never really broke down, has a little bit of life in it. Same thing with the 30-minute, same thing with the 4-hour. For those of you who are poker players, I actually find that poker players make phenomenal traders and vice versa, because you understand this concept of like, there's no singular piece of evidence that is like the end all be all, like hardcore confirmation, but you're using various pieces of information together. That's the key. It's like, okay, you could use overall trend. You could use the options flow. You could use the options flow and the trend on various timeframes, on various assets. You can look at the big money positioning. You can look at the gamma map. You can look at the delta map. You can look at the news. You could say, okay, CPI is coming out, PCE is coming out. You could look at order flow. You could look at things like these VWAPs. There are many things that what you're attempting to do is similar to pokers. You're putting together all these different puzzle pieces to try to give you the picture of like, okay, who's in control, and do I either want to be with that particular camp, i.e. the bull or the bear camp, or do you want to fade it? And the final question from there, after you try to figure out who's in control, is can you take advantage of that control with reasonable risk to reward? That's the next thing that you want to look at. Oh, speaking of which, it's 9:54. We have this little trend line. So I'm not really for or against any particular thing such as trend lines or order flow or seasonality. To me, it's all things that should be used together. I think the best traders are putting those all together to make informed decisions. And then even if they're not putting it together well, or if they're not interpreting it or understanding it well, you can still be very, very profitable by understanding that the market is basically normally distributed. Not basically, it is literally normally distributed. So if you don't know what you're doing at all, like literally at all, if you have good risk management, you can still be profitable. Has Apex dropped your milli yet? Unfortunately not. I am still waiting, and it's a game of patience. But on that note, they're still running a sick 90% off deal. So use that code 90. Today is your last day, but technically you have 2 trading sessions left. That is pinned to the top of chat. It is in the description of the video. Remember, even though I'm waiting on my $1 million payout from Apex, they are the only one who allows you to have up to 20 accounts. So obviously the scaling is very phenomenal. And right now, when you consider the fact that you could have up to 20 accounts and they're running a 90% off deal, that means you could take the eval for like $20 depending on the account size you use. Personally, I like the end of day drawdown 150k accounts. That's my personal favorite. So I guess take that however you want. I know a lot of people do like the 50k account. Some people like the 25k account. Like, everyone has their own thoughts and opinions. I just implore you to use whatever account is best for you to be successful. That's the name of the game. I just want to let you know, Apex 90% off. It does not get cheaper than that. But anyway, take advantage of it with code Goonie. Pinned to the top of chat and in the description of the video. All right, we're right at that trend line. So the pink dash line is the 50% of the high and the low intraday. We kind of got close, but not quite. But we did recapture that VWAP. That was a legitimate long. You could have. That's a fair long to take. If you're long at 70, I'm kind of jealous. That was a good one. They haven't paid you yet. Nope. My accounts are still under review. I still have all my accounts. I can show them to you. Right here. See, they're all right there. They're the same numbers they've been ever since February. I can't trade them at all. My contract size limit right now is 0. So when I tried it, like if I click a button, just nothing happens. But I still have all my Apex accounts. There's all the numbers. Nothing has changed since February. this particular run was from late October 21st to February 3rd, 73 trading days. I am up net $1 million, and that was after taking out, I don't even know how much I took out, like 200K or something like that. Wait, what is, I don't even know, 150K, I think I want to say. I'd have to ask my producer. I forget how much I took out, but I'm up over $1 million, and right now I'm up net $1 million. I mean, you can add up the numbers yourself, but there's all my Apex accounts. I just can't trade them, so I don't really show them. That just kind of messes it up. Why promote them if they're not paying you? Because this is the process. This is how it goes. I've reached out to all the people who I could find that have gotten a 7-figure payout from them before. None of them were ever fast. They all took time. And I think for me, this is just my guess here. I think my request was at uniquely the worst time ever, because I requested in February or in early February. Right after that, they had all the drama with Brian Stonk. So all of a sudden they had issues with influencers, and that took all of their time. Then from there, they rolled out a new website. Then from there, they rolled out new accounts. Since then, they've been trying to work out the specifics of their live program. So I can see in retrospect that it just takes a while, because on top of just the business being super, super busy and a lot of things going on, then on my account, they have to do all the KYC, the AML, they have to review all 73 days of my trading, and I traded a lot per day. So that do I wish I had the money in my account right now? Of course I do. What human wouldn't? But also then from a business perspective, I understand how it got to where it's currently at, if that makes sense. You think they will ban you? Is that why they usually... They'll probably most likely move me to live, especially that's part of it right now, is that they're figuring out their live program. So most likely the way that I'm currently live with Lucid right here, these account numbers, the 183s, 556, 555, 54, 53, 52, these are live trading accounts, as in actual trades actually hitting the market. So most likely I'll get moved to a live account on Apex is probably how this will play out.